What is going on YouTube? Lamont at Large coming to you from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're standing on a corner of 25th and Kilbourne, and as I walk up to this vacant lot right here across the street, used to be an apartment building, which address was 924 North 25th Street, and this is where Jeffrey Dahmer used to live. Many of you probably already know who he is. This was his former building. About a year or so later, after he was caught and arrested, the building was destroyed. It was paid for by some neighborhood beautification association, and they felt it was in the best interest of the neighborhood to just go ahead and tear it down. They were supposed to build a park on the grounds of it, but as you can see, it's just fenced in, and that's it. There's no park, there's nothing there. So on July 22nd, 1991, that's the night that Jeffrey Dahmer's world got turned upside down, I guess. He went to a local gay bar and met a man by the name of Tracy Edwards, and he had lured him to his apartment, offering him $100 if he could just simply take some nude photos of him. And Tracy said, "Hey, sure, why not? I'll make a couple bucks." So they go to his apartment, and he's showing Tracy his fabulous fish tank. And when he wasn't looking, Jeffrey Dahmer slips a handcuff over Tracy's wrist, and he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And as soon as he tried to lock the other handcuff to a radiator post, he pulled his arm back, and all of a sudden he knew, he starts getting a very bad feeling about this guy. He says, "Something's not right here." And so he starts getting really nervous and scared, and he tells Jeffrey, "Hey, I got to use the bathroom." He's like, "Yeah, the bathroom's over there." So he uses the bathroom. He's like trying to figure out, how the hell am I supposed to escape? I'm either going to jump out of the window or I got to go through the door, but it's locked. And this guy, is crazy. He comes back out. Jeffrey Dahmer's holding a knife. So he says, "Oh, crap, here we go." And he sits down, has a beer. He's looking at Jeffrey Dahmer kind of in a trance, mumbling to himself. And he tells Jeffrey, he's like, "Hey, I got to use the bathroom again." So he goes to the bathroom, and he's like, now he's panicking. Now this guy's like, "How the hell do I get out of this guy's apartment?" So he leaves the bathroom, and just as Jeffrey Dahmer's attention was turned somewhere else, he punches him right in the face. He drops the knife, runs past Jeffrey Dahmer out into the street right here. And he runs about 2 blocks away, and then he notices a couple of cops in a car, and he flags him down. He said, "Hey, there's a freak, quote unquote freak, in this apartment. He put this handcuff on me, and he had a knife and what have you." So he leads the cops back to Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment so he can get the key, so he can get the handcuff key off of him, because the cops' key didn't work. They come back to Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment. They go upstairs, knock on the door. As soon as they come in, the cops notice some kind of a really stench, acrid odor. And they're looking around. They're like, "What the hell is going on here?" And they're asking Jeffrey, like, "Hey, this guy said that you handcuffed him, and he just wants to get the handcuff off so he can leave." And Jeffrey's like, yeah, I got the key. So he looks in the side of his bed, and the cop notices, man, he goes, "There's a big, huge barrel in the room. And it's like filled with some kind of liquid." And he's like, "What the hell is going on here?" One of the cops, the odor of decomposing meat was so awful, by just dumb chance, a cop opens the refrigerator, and on the bottom shelf notices a human head. And he tells his partner, "Hey, is this what I think it is?" And he says, "Yes." They immediately draw their guns and tell Jeffrey Dahmer to put his hands up, get on the ground. Cops call for backup, and as you can remember, that scene of all those cops wearing the special suits, bringing out that vat of acid with 3 torsos hanging inside of it, liquefying, 4 human severed heads, 7 skulls that he had painted, a couple of penises and some jars of formaldehyde, a couple of severed hands, and I believe he had half a dozen human skeletons in his apartment number 213, a literal apartment of horror. And Dahmer, a name that people will never ever forget. Dahmer was tried and convicted of, well, he was tried for 16 murders. He was convicted of 15. I think he convicted his first murder in 1978. Basically what this guy would do is he would just go to gay bars, meet guys, promise them money in exchange for either sex or just take pictures of them. He'd bring them home, club them over the back of the head, and dismember them. And some of the people he ate. And right now, this is the very ground where Jeffrey Dahmer lived. And as you can see, if I can get past this fence, this is it. This is where all the horrors happened. A year later, after being caught with all that, he was convicted of the 15 murders and given 15 life sentences, I believe. And not too long after that, he was bludgeoned to death in prison by some other prisoner. He said that God told him to kill Jeffrey Dahmer, and so, you know, he did. So anyways, just want to show you really quickly, this is where Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment was. And thankfully during this video, it didn't get interrupted too many times. This neighborhood is actually, I don't want to say it's bad, but I do want to say this is a kind of a junky crap neighborhood, if I do say so myself. So anyways, live but not live, but still alive by the grace of God. As soon as I get out of this neighborhood, this is Lamont at Large. And I will advise anybody, if you plan on coming to Milwaukee to see Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment building, be wary. This neighborhood is not the best. I've seen worse neighborhoods, but definitely not a neighborhood that you want to be hanging out at. Anyways, catch up with you on the next vlog. Peace out.